Once in a while, we can't help it, it's just our style.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Wade and Carter program alongside my buddy and guest host, Washade.
Hey, good morning, eh?
I am Brent Carter. I'm your host. Please, somebody right now tell me you can hear us. The mics aren't hot. Everything's fine. I need somebody to chime in that we're okay. We're not okay?
We ain't.
How about now? We're not good or we're good? I don't know what, I tell you what, I don't do technical difficulties and I don't know where we're at. And this is a Wednesday before Thanksgiving and we could have a really short show today. Good morning, Greg Garcia, Scott Tomko, Judge Posey. You're the first three in. Welcome in, Marvin Mickish. I don't know why do we have problems? Okay, I don't like it.
You just keep talking.
Okay, we're good on Magic 95.9. There's Michelle Wilson-Hawkins, Ricky King, Daniel Wade-White, Bobby Leister, Lisa Poole, Scott Tomko, Crystal Mapp. Judge Posey says the mics aren't good. Michelle Wilson-Hawkins says they're a little hot but not horrible. I just don't know. It's not my bailiwick. It's not what I do. It's not my gift. And it just frustrates the living crap out of me. So it's certainly not Commander Cody's fault. It's basically Ash's fault for not being here. It's what Ash does. It's the gift he brings to us. He's the radio guy. And I just find it horribly frustrating. I want to come in, flip a switch, and do it. It's kind of like...
He should be here messing with the radio, not playing in the snow, you know.
Hey, what are you doing? You look like a little hobbit. You're a huge man. You look like a little hobbit.
I was just sitting in Ash's seat.
You were a Marine, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
For goodness sakes, man.
I couldn't say that.
Were you like a
Canadian accent?
Were you a guy that were you the guy they sent down into the tunnels because you were little, like they gave you a 22 with a silencer and said, just kill as many as you can before they get you?
No. They gave me an axe and told me to go through all the locked doors. That was fun.
You know, I bet when you talk close here, I bet when you and Bill Posey get together, y'all have stories to tell.
I've only got to talk to him a couple times. I really enjoyed talking to him.
I need to get y'all together. I'm going to put together, and we can make it as big as the Wade and Carter fans want to make it. I want to put together a visit with, it's not that. I want to put, it's something in.
Sounds good now.
Okay. That's because I'm on a different box over here.
That's video.
No, well, okay. Anyway, I want to put together a dinner, an evening with Bill Posey. He's a treasure to me, and I know he would do it. It's just a matter of getting everything put together. I want to do steaks and drinks and potatoes, probably in that order, and have Bill just tell stories. He's got a million stories. He's been all over the world. He's done incredible things in the service of our country, and I'd love to have him just sit and tell people things that he's done. I got Lisa Poole like she knows something. Move back a little from the mic, and you'll be okay. Lisa, just sit there and listen. Jordan Glass, B.J. Nelson. She's just making an auction item at the Republican Gala in January. I may do it. I don't know how to do it. I know that I want to control the crowd. I want it to be an invitation-only event. I want to invite the people that I want there. And that's the great thing about being a show host is I can just say, nope, you're not coming. You know.
Well, I can do that too, Brent.
Yeah,
everyone can.
Right.
You don't have to have people over to your home that you don't like.
Well, I'm not even sure I'd do it at my house. I don't know where I would do it.
Right.
The community center to pull it off. I mean, really. Man's a treasure.
I'll sift them out at the door for you.
With your act. You watch the show Tulsa King?
No, but I've seen it. I've seen it. Sylvester Stallone.
Pretty much, he's cool. he's even cooler in his old age. He's 75 years old.
I've enjoyed it, and now that his daughters are older, they're starting to tell stories about how it was having Sylvester Stallone as a dad in high school. They've been great.
Was he tough?
Stories, yeah, they said both of them had stories where he met somebody and ran them off with just a handshake.
Oh, I believe it. Let's do the Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Deerland Feed. For everything you need, there's Deerland Feed. It's 61 degrees under what will become mostly sunny skies in Victoria. We're heading to a high today of 85. So it's going to be a typical summer day in Victoria, 61 in the morning, but 85 this afternoon. And I know we're good on Magic. We're always good on Magic. The mothership, Magic 95.9. I want to welcome all of the Magic 95 Tejano's best, Victoria's best Tejano music. Such a great station, great friends. They're familiar to us and want to welcome you folks in. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season in general, but Thanksgiving tomorrow. Think about that. It's on top of us. I hope that you have the opportunity to have family around and everything's enjoyable. There's J-Dub. J-Dub, you've got Ash up in the YYC, so hope y'all are getting to see each other. Yeah, it's funny when you wear these headphones every day, the sound you get through the headphone is either right or it's not, and you can just tell when it's not. And I'm not. It's not that I'm irresponsible. I claim up front, this ain't what I do. So I want to come in and I want it to work. And when it doesn't work, I don't even want to blame anybody. You just bring the talent and charisma, huh? That's pretty much my feelings about me. But if you'd like to tell me how much you adore me, that would be okay as well.
I love it.
I would love for you folks today. I would love to get some calls. I think that if you're thankful enough to think about it, you ought to be thankful enough to tell people about it. I'd love for someone to call and share with us what they're thankful for this time of year, what they're concerned about. J-Dub says he was out with Ash last night. Attaboy. It's like old times. They best friends growing up for 40 years. That's amazing stuff. If you'd like to call and tell us something that you're thankful for, folks, feel free to do that. 894-4020 in the 361 area code. If you'd like to just put it in the comments, if you're on Facebook, that's fine as well. I'd love to hear, what your essential, for example, what's at your house? It's not Thanksgiving unless we at least have
everyone.
Okay, so you think everyone. People first, and I think that's romantic and awesome. I'm leaning towards, it ain't Thanksgiving if we don't have turkey, or it ain't Thanksgiving if we don't have ham or cranberry sauce. What is it that people say? One of the traditions at our house is we always had, like Ash stuff.
My Aunt Melissa always made these giant macaroni and cheese shells. Right?
Awesome.
And that's the one that just puts me back in Uvalde all those years.
Now, if you were like me, so I grew up with macaroni and cheese out of the box. You mix the powder and you mix the milk and you put it in there.
But then once a year, we got the good stuff.
That's what I was going to say. That feeling of, and it could be as simple as Velveeta or Easy Melt, just a different cheese. Good morning, John Anderson over in the Carolinas. I hope you're doing good, buddy. You know John Anderson? He's a little bit older than you. No, not John Anderson, the singer. Although he can sing.
Yeah,
he's a Marine. John is Brent Anderson's younger brother, or Brent Anderson is John Anderson's older brother. Scott Taco says he likes cornbread dressing. Yeah, we have it too. We do cornbread and white bread, toast the white bread and mix it all up and then put in the celery and the onions and all that and the butter. Butter's the key. I always tell my mom, when in doubt, add a little salt and a little sage. I love sage. I like my dressing almost green. Ricky King says, I'm thankful for my family and that President Trump won the election and the country seems to be making a turn more towards Christ and the older ways. I agree. I don't know. I think I'm cynical because I know that, as a Christian, I feel like we're kind of dwelling in the end times to a degree. We're certainly closer than we've ever been. If you believe that there are end times, we're closer than we've ever been, right? So there's a part of me that just doesn't see the country really turning back towards God. But that doesn't, I could be wrong by 1,000 years, and maybe there is a resurgence of Christianity or Christian values, at least in our nation. And I agree with Michelle Hawkins. She says, yes, it just feels different. It does feel different. Our country has optimism. I thought it was interesting, if I can find it here, the 1440 calls it tit for tat tariffs. It's hard to say quickly, tit for tat tariffs. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, where did they find a Jewish Latina to run the country, threatened regulatory tariffs on U.S. goods yesterday. So Trump says he's going to put 25% on them.
The president of Mexico is a woman?
Yeah, and she's Jewish.
Where have I been? I missed that
You were
one.
at jiu-jitsu
I
class
guess so.
going head-to-head with Gaynor.
I guess so.
How did that go for you?
Well, it does. It goes better whenever, it's not jujitsu.
Right. So if you can get him to box, you can take him.
Absolutely.
So what you're saying is, if you can control the narrative of how you fight, you've got a chance.
Absolutely.
But most people say if you can get the perp or whoever on the ground,
You don't want to take Gaynor to the ground.
No,
he weighed 330 pounds.
he's huge.
And he's a very talented athlete.
We're going to talk
He's
about,
not just 330 pounds.
no, he's 330 pounds, a very talented, whip your ass athlete.
Right. He's a huge linebacker.
It's exactly why we should let him handle
All the students
all the students that get out of line in our schools.
every time.
So Trump is saying he's giving a 25% tariff on Canada and China and 10% on China and 25 on Canada and Mexico. What's funny is they're the exact same tariffs that he had in place before. They're the exact same tariffs that Biden embraced for the most part for most of his tenure. But now that Trump's saying he's going to do it, extend, recreate, all of a sudden it's like, it's going to send the economy into turmoil because people are basically stupid. I saw a deal yesterday, and I just could not agree more. It said that in our country or in the world, 5% of the people are genuine states, and 5% of the people are genuinely evil. The other 90% are just sheep. And they sway back and forth with whoever's in charge at the time. And I believe that's very true about so many people. What I'm running into with these retaliatory tariffs is we don't sell enough goods to Mexico to affect our output. I mean, I think 15% of our total exports go to Mexico. So they don't buy nearly as much from us as we do from them. The three North American countries exchanged 1.8 trillion worth of goods in 22. That'd be Canada, the U.S., and Mexico. Annual U.S. trade with China is $600 billion. And I want you to get an idea of that. We talk on this program all the time in terms of hundreds of billions, and we sent them 500 billion, yada, yada, yada. You think of all the stuff that is sold in this country from China. Think of how everything you pick up, from plasticware to electronics to all your Christmas toys, it's all made in China.
Mexico too. I mean, I went down there, tried to buy a chimenea, and it had a made in China
And the whole thing there, that only adds up to 600 billion. So I want you to think about how much money it is when we say we're sending 200 billion to Zelensky. That's a lot of money, people. You just can't get your head around it because they say billion so much.
Well, every billion is $999,999,999. That's a billion.
Plus a dollar.
Right.
Yeah, think about it. It's a lot. You get $1 million. Now go get 1,000 of those, and that's $1 billion. And we send it wholesale all around the world. But I just find it interesting that Claudia Scheinbaum, who I have no doubt, I told you this the other day, she's already been advised, you will steal your border. You will commit the troops. You will curtail the cartel.
Why don't they start with Mexico's southern border? That would be a good place to start. It's much shorter. It would be much easier to control than the U.S.-Mexico border. And then at that point, if they control that border, we could handle the U.S. one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Crystal Matt says, I'm thankful for my mornings with Wade and Carter. Well, we love you too, Crystal. It's become what kicks off my mornings and is what has become my routine. It ain't morning without my Wade and Carter. Thank you very much. I'm grateful for family and friends. I'm excited for what's coming over the next 4 years. My son comes home today. It's not Thanksgiving without my mom and her turkey. I love the decor and nostalgia. That's awesome. H.R. Mallory says, and thankful I can still listen to Wade and Carter. H.R., we love you, brother. That's our super trooper, H.R. Mallory, who's down in Corpus now. And H.R., no kidding, he adds, thankful for my wonderful family, that Colton is thriving at GP and being more active, amazing coworkers who are always ready when I say I have an idea for a video. Wishing everyone safe travels and a happy Thanksgiving. Please keep those away from family working to keep us safe in your prayers. That means our active military folks, keep them in your prayers always. Lisa Poole says she's thankful that she lives in a free country and that Donald Trump won the election. Greg Garcia says he's thankful for Jesus and the end of wokeness and the PC culture. Yeah, DEI and all that garbage. Scott Tucker says, I make it the same way, but I add some garlic, croutons, and giblet gravy. Gravy. Gravy.
Love the giblets.
Oh, man. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't. My mom used to boil that old turkey neck and then cut all that meat off. Oh, let that go. Give me some brown gravy powder. Just that turkey neck.
I'm not. If it's on the inside, it's going in the can. I'm sorry. Like,
I have no problem with
maybe
that.
I'm
Andrew Alvarez, good morning. Jarrett McCrugan. Ash is in Canada, babe. Jay Glass, Justin's in. Judge Posey says, I'm thankful for a multitude of things, but at the top is God, family, and friends. Happy Thanksgiving to all. And to you, great sir. We appreciate you, Judge Posey, for your input through the years, your support. Sherry Jacobs says, morning, you're late. Andrew Alvarez, I'm thankful to be alive and in this country where even though we have the left fighting against our rights, we still have our rights. Amen. Sherry's thankful for her Lord and Savior and for her family. Peter McKnight says, yep, you're on the right track. Happy Thanksgiving. Amen, Peter. We love you, Peter McNally. Hope you and your family have a great holiday. I know you're in Beaumont. I hope everything goes smooth for y'all and you have an enjoyable holiday. Greg Garcia says, I'm in some household gravy is a beverage.
in some households. Gravy is a beverage.
Oh, gravy. Okay, there you go. Some household gravy is a beverage.
Out there drinking gravy in his coffee this morning.
You got a thing of
it's a Canadian Michelada, the Canadian Michelada, syrup and beer.
There you go. You just mix them together and go. Is that Log Cabin?
It's actually Aunt Jemima minus the.
What do they call it now?
She's on pearl milling.
Some white lady now.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I miss Aunt Jemima.
She ought to come back.
You know, now that Donald J. Trump has won, can we start that here?
Why can't we get it back?
Bring Aunt Jemima back.
Yep.
I mean, she's like the gas station lady that when she's like, "Hey, good morning, baby," and I instantly feel like I'm going to have a much better day.
Right?
Right.
How do you feel about this? How do you feel about it? I want you, if this is unprompted. Scientists transplant a pig heart valve into a rodent with the assistance of human skin cells reprogrammed into heart valve cells. The procedure paves the way for similar organ transplants to humans, with roughly 30,000 Americans dying each year from aortic heart valve failure. So they took a pig valve and put it into a big rat, some rodent,
And then use human skin cells.
to make it all.
Right. Anytime that humans have played God, it has not worked out for us.
I couldn't agree more.
And the more we play God, the more stuff is going to happen, right? But it's still playing, and what it leads to, and all this AI stuff and plastics. Anytime man is making something, it's not going to end up good in the long run.
The first thing I thought of there was our great friend, dear friend, Bob Constantine, and how that he's on a list to get a liver transplant. And, you know, if this type of medicine goes well, I could see somebody like Bob benefiting from that. We've joked, there was a huge scandal just a couple of weeks ago about bodies disappearing in China, and that literally the Chinese were kidnapping these people. Some Chinese were kidnapping these people and harvesting their organs. And Bob is such a great guy, and we joked with Bob about the fact that if he were to get a Chinese liver, it wouldn't cure his jaundice. He would stay yellow. But he could eat fried rice and be hungry again in a half hour. U.S. stock market closed higher yesterday. They say following the news of the Israel-Hezbollah ceasefire deal, because there's so much manufacturing going on in the Gaza, that certainly affects the stock market. Again, optimism leads to consumer confidence. The idea that war goes away makes people want to buy things. It's how we celebrate. We buy things. We can buy that TV now, honey. The Jews are through fighting. That's how they do it. That's how people do things. I find it interesting, and we'll get to the ceasefire in a little while, but apparently it's been completed. They do talk about it's a 60-day ceasefire. I find it interesting that they're giving Joe Biden credit for negotiating this deal when all he's really been doing is eating ice cream and looking at the Rose Garden.
You think this wasn't everybody else's idea? Like, hold on, what if we could get a ceasefire until Trump gets back in office?
Right. Yeah, no kidding.
That's not Biden.
Israel and Hezbollah agreed to a U.S. and France land. Of course, France always surrender. When in doubt, surrender. That's the French. Ending 14 months of rocket and missile exchanges, Israeli soldiers are to withdraw. The Lebanese army is to repopulate the country south in the coming 60 days. So we'll see how that goes. Walmart, of all people, rolls back. Little Walmart humor there. Walmart rolls back diversity programs. Changes include closing $100 million Equity Racial Center launched in 2020, phasing out the term DEI, ending preference for suppliers majority owned by women, LGBTQ plus members, veterans, and others. So they had a policy in place where if a heterosexual married Christian white man can offer them something at the same price as an LGBTQ woman, they're going to buy it from the woman because that's their philosophy. They decided to quit using that as a measuring stick. What's interesting to me is I have no problem at all extending certain priorities to majority-owned female businesses. I think the idea of
Right, like sending my wife to Peach Perfect over there on Laurent, locally owned business.
there you go. So
Right.
let a woman, I just think that's fair. That's kind of and maybe I'm just being soft, but to me, that's an affirmative action type move. I have no problem extending certain priorities to veterans, but we all know businesses that have where the husband, who quite often is at least a 50-50 worker in the business, says, oh yeah, well, and also we're a minority-owned business and my wife owns 51% of the stock. Well, okay. Good. But in true female-owned businesses, there's no disputing really that the ladies sometimes don't get a square deal. And I think that's a good idea. I have no problem with it. Aren't the Washington Commanders changing their name back to the Redskins? I don't know. I know that there's plenty of Native American groups that want them to.
It's not a good idea to just act like they never existed.
That's exactly what's going to happen. They're trying to erase them from the earth and erase them from our history. Greg Garcia says the Redskins organization uncanceled their logo and name. It might be reinstated. That would be a tremendous Christmas gift to the folks of Washington. No, this isn't a great example of the egregious left, where the only people that were upset about the term Redskins were people who appropriated
White skins.
That's exactly right. White people that said, y'all are being rude to those Indians, those Indian folks, and they're just too stupid to know it.
Right.
That's
Which is actually the insulting thing.
That's
When
exactly
you listen
right.
to Democrats and the way they talk about African Americans, it drives me nuts.
Black kids are just as smart as little poor kids. Whatever. That's what Joe Biden said. Unbelievable.
I remember that.
Unbelievable.
That's hilarious that Walmart's getting rid of DEI.
Yeah.
It's gonna but that makes you wonder, does that mean that BlackRock has changed their stance? Are they softening their stance with these corporations and not making them do these things for the financing that they want?
It is an interesting world. BlackRock is in the middle of everything.
Because if it's coming from a BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard policy, we could see this in hundreds of other corporations.
Yep. Since President-elect Donald Trump signs a memorandum of understanding with the Biden White House, clearing the stage for the next phase of presidential transition. I don't remember. I'm going to click on this. It says more. I don't remember this ever having. They call it an MOU. It's a memorandum of understanding. Let's see if I can get down there, which will allow officials to meet with counterparts at departments and agency ahead of the January transition of power. I guess what it will do is give Trump's people a chance to get in and understand here we go. This engagement allows our intended cabinet nominees to begin critical preparations, including the deployment of landing teams to every department and agency, and complete the orderly transition of power. So they're saying that over the next 6 weeks,
Left seat, right seat.
right, that's right, that just so they can get a feel for what's going on. I don't know if this is, I would imagine that type of transition is common. I don't know if a signed memorandum of understanding has always been the case. If you know,
Somebody needs to
share.
Somebody needs to remind Joe not to take any documents to his house.
Right. Exactly.
We should be over that at this point. So don't go taking anything that's
We talk about,
classified.
I'm firmly convinced that when Jack Smith dropped all of the charges against Donald Trump, because basically saying, I'm not saying that we can't prove him, and I'm not saying he's not guilty. I'm saying that it's just not copacetic to be indicting and taking to court a sitting U.S. president. I believe that Joe Biden literally said to DJT last week when they met at the White House, I'll get you out of these lawsuits. Don't worry. I'll get that taken care of. Don't prosecute me and Hunter when you come into office. I believe it. I believe it in my heart.
I'd make that deal if I were him.
And I think that's a good deal to make. Now, we did talk about yesterday, but it's worth noting that these charges were dropped without prejudice, which means that in 4 years, when he's a private citizen again and forever, they could resurrect these charges and they could still try to incarcerate him. I think it's
That'd be making a further martyr out of him. They've already shot him. Yeah.
It's you're on the verge of civil war as it is. Cancer researchers discover how low glucose environments around tumors help cancer cells evade chemotherapy. Finding may lead to more effective treatment. So apparently around the cancer cells, if there's less sugar.
RFK's been telling everybody.
That's right. There you go.
I like the RFK, don't you?
I think he's an interesting cat. Apparently he's a horrific philanderer, which, by the way, runs in his family. Entitled. They're very entitled, very wealthy, and the Kennedys have always been philanderers. Teddy.
Is he married?
I think he was married, but he kept a journal of all of his side action, and he rated them on a scale of 1 to 10. And his wife apparently found it, and allegedly that she hung herself. So I don't know the full story, but he's quite prolific. Like the John Holmes of politics.
Okay.
Very interesting. So
there's more to health than just sit-ups, RFK.
Right, apparently he was not going to make it as president. Disney settles a $43 million. To me, that seems like a very low number. $43 million class action suit with 9,000 female workers alleging they were paid less than their male counterparts in comparable roles. I never saw a guy as Snow White. I've been there. I never saw it. But interesting that the one lady pointed out that there was a gentleman that worked in the same role she was in. He had been there several years fewer than her, and he made $20,000 more for doing the same job. So they all got together and sued Disney. Disney admitted no guilt, just said, hey, here's $43 million.
Well, the idea of Belle getting paid less than Gaston just doesn't sit right with me.
Doesn't sit right with me either. I agree 100%. But isn't it interesting that the Disney Corp, the most woke, the most green, the most liberal, was still taking advantage
What's chauvinist?
Of the female worker?
Chauvinist.
I agree.
Miss O'Jimmy's.
Not going to take it. Wouldn't be prudent. Yeah, I agree 100%. What else have we got? Just so much stuff. I'm going to go back. I'm still encouraging folks. Lisa Pumas put something. I got in my mom's green bean and artichoke casserole. I would try that. Wow. Kathleen Leiniger, always pragmatic, very, very sharp lady, says, whenever you show preference for one group or another, there are always ways to slide in through loopholes. Make it an even playing field for everyone. I agree 100%. You know, I find myself...
Except there's some.
Like what? I mean, you're good. I'm working with you.
Government contracts involving the military, I'm going to support the veterans that leave the service, start a business in that sector, and then them having preference in providing service in that sector.
I agree with that.
Now, if it's a cafeteria thing, then maybe that's different.
I concur. I agree. There's Funky Trey Molina. Good morning, brother. We're going to be on in Corpus here pretty quick. I can feel it. I can feel it. So Kathleen Leiniger wants Lisa Poole to send her that recipe. Awesome. And Lisa Poole says, yes, RFK Jr. is married. Yeah, now we're doing recipes. That's what this has devolved into now. Wade Carter, a recipe swap show. Yeah. Very interesting. You know, we talk about level playing fields. It's a wild scenario. It's easy for me to have this position as a, inherently person of privilege because I'm a white male. So I've certainly got privileges nobody else has, right? Because I'm a white male. But I know I've been blessed to have lots and lots of black friends. And I know you had to have black friends in the military, black friends in school, and you got black friends today as an athlete. People that you had to count on.
Oh, absolutely.
And I look at that, and the best of the best are the folks that say, these are the cards I was dealt, and I'm going to play them. And I'm just going to play them better than you.
Well, just play the game. Just play the game. Most people aren't even playing the game anymore. They're playing a different game of how to get the most for the least. And that's the game, and it's kind of sad.
Exactly. But, you find people, when you find this black person who says, I've just been so mistreated, I'm so it's just not right. I point them to the Latino immigrant who came here legally, did their time, put in the time, worked probably for cash on the side until they could get their citizenship, and now is thriving in a business. And I'm like, they had it worse than you. They didn't have it necessarily worse than your race over history, but they had it worse than you here now, born an American, born with a free education. And then I look at folks like the Asians that come here with language.
That's right. Education is the one thing that gives everybody an opportunity.
That's exactly right.
And you can educate yourself out of poverty.
Absolutely. Lisa Poole asks, any new news happenings with the Bloomington Water Board? I'll tell you what I do know. I do know from just doing some snooping around that there's some people down in Bloomington got some problems. They have you will recall a couple of weeks ago, we had re-elected Danny Garcia, Precinct 1 commissioner, on the program, along with Tiki Vingler, who was very concerned. They were both very concerned about the goings-on, the incorporation efforts of a small segment of the township or the open community, the unincorporated community of Bloomington. And I do know, and it's an ongoing investigation, but I feel comfortable saying, hey, they served a bunch of warrants and they gathered a bunch of data, and there's some people in the Bloomington area that are going to go to the pokey. And that is...
play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
There you go. Dude, I heard Exxon was no longer coming to our area. I don't know. I know Exxon has a $5 billion project going in Gregory Point. And Ricky Key says, I think you're half correct, Brent. I think education can get you out of poverty, but hard work and education can get you out of anything you're in. I agree. Amen. 100%. I know Ricky King well. Ricky King works hard. He works hard. And being a hard worker trumps all.
Work ethic is everything.
Absolutely.
But if you're dumb as a box of rocks, you can work digging that hole all day. You're not going to dig yourself into prosperity. Well, it has to be educated, like you said, an education and a work ethic.
And it may be that the circumstances into which you are born require you to work harder than other people.
Or relocating. Right. Relocating. If it's not working out for you here, there may be it's going to be different for every person, every single situation. You just have
to do it, right? Yeah. Because I could sit here and say, it just doesn't cross my mind. My mentality is not one of entitlement. I could sit here and say, well, why wasn't I born in O'Connor? Why don't I have ranch land? Why don't I have cattle? I mean, it doesn't matter how hard I work. I'll never be like that. And that's the type of whining that you hear out of certain groups because, oh, well, you're a white guy. You were born into privilege. It's like, no, I didn't know it at the time, but we were like, we were just a working class family. My mom listens every day. She'll tell you they worked 2 jobs to provide some of the extras to make sure I could go to college.
I mean, my dad left when I was 2, and I'm pretty sure the only reason I graduated at high school was athletics. So I'm kind of leaning the other way, dog.
Is it true that you used to smoke cigarettes in the huddle? I mean, that's how good you were. He had a pack of smokes rolled up.
No.
Brother Gary's in the house. We'll talk to him in a minute. Dawn Nicole says she agrees with Ricky Champagne King, and I love that because, Commander, you're going to have to get up and redirect microphone 3 for the brother man. While you do that, after you walk by, let me do this. You go ahead and come on by.
It's time for a break.
I'll take a break, folks. USA Concrete Coating 578 Home. Let Charlie Garcia help you and yours level up, seal the cracks, put down a tough nails, polyurethane, cut them on crack sticks, through fade, garage floors, whatever you need done, they can handle it. Went Services, Went for all your generator needs, Went for all your electrical needs. Give Went Services a call today. Let them help you get what you want done. RK Development Group. Do you know Daniel Rollins?
I do.
Great guy.
He's a grunt.
He's a
grunt. And his son's a grunt.
That's
a Marine family.
That's awesome. He's a fine gentleman and a very, very astute contractor. Called Daniel.
He might have outkicked his coverage with Sarah a little bit, but it seems like as hard as he's working, he's getting it covered.
Dawn just thinks the world of Sarah, and we doesn't. She's
an angel.
She's awesome. The VCS companies, for all your communication needs, let the VCS companies help you all the way down this year at Christmas time through the iPhone 16. They can do that. Brand S, thank you. I cannot emphasize to you folks the difference that Cody Bauman and his team have made for our program. I encourage you today, if you have time, go to the WadeandCarter.com. Just go to WadeandCarter.com and look at the way that he restructured our webpage. It's fresh, it's cool, and you'll like it. There's a picture on there that he took from a drone of the concert that we did on the square, and it's just awesome. Go check it out. Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Let Allen be your go-to tow-to. Allen will get you from here to there and take care of you all along the way. And then Veracruz, 578-6300. And then Veracruz Restaurant. Today is the last call to Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Get in there today. You see the look, the panic look on Adam's face? Get in there today and let them pleasure you. Look, we're joined by, there's no reason, I'm going to show you something. I don't know which one to do, so we won't do it. I'm joined right now. There you are, brother man. There's your camera. You're live.
I hear.
And bless you, sir. You are something that I'm thankful for.
Thank you, sir.
And I appreciate your love for us and the way you've always treated us. You've helped us. Brother Gary is the guy that always says, I know what you think about this, but just be nice.
Just be nice.
Be nice.
Just
we try so hard.
You do, you do well.
Thank
Brent,
you.
I'm proud of you. Since a young man that I had
sir.
you, Adam, as a young man, I had you. Both you boys are great.
So you're one
That kind of boy.
Wait, you taught Brent and me?
No,
Brent, he
Brent.
raised me, but look, man, hey, look, you can look at the two of us, and
Yeah.
you're 1 for 2.
Who was more honoring?
I'm two
Who was
for two.
more honoring?
Oh, you
Both of you,
both.
I'm proud of both of y'all, man.
He was honoring.
He was. Oh, you were good. He was good. You just want him on your side. That's all.
Right.
When I told you,
He's all
you want him on your side.
Yeah,
Brent, you were a good kid back in the day. Summer recreation, Adam, I had him.
we used to hang out at the Victoria High. And
Victoria High. That
started
first.
Crane.
Started Crane
And then
with
we
Victoria High.
High because I could ride my bike.
I watched him grow.
And I said, you go home. It was lunchtime. He was just trying
Your mother wants you home, son. We'll be back in 2 hours. You
come back at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
That's great.
And you were right there with that basketball in your hand.
Absolutely ready to go.
And Adam, good kid right here. He looked like football player. He was.
He was.
He was. Basketball player, football player. Cody could have been anything he wanted. And you guys are great.
How are you? What's happening?
Happy Thanksgiving to all out there, and God bless you. A lot of stuff, Brent. We got stuff. I saw some friends of yours. I'll get to it, but just to let you know, for the weekend, here it is, day before Christmas in the park in Cuero. Let me give you some things to think about right there. And they're doing it every night. They opened up the park on Monday. It's every day through January the 1st, and 6 to 10. Pay what you want. You don't have to
Just
pay it
a
all.
donation. Super nice of them to do
Right.
that.
It is. And I have hot chocolate every Thursday in December from 6 to 10 Thursday nights. Big boys right here. We're big boys, both of you.
He's my protector, though.
I want him on my
Yes,
side.
sir.
I want both of you on my side. You too, son. So we got
You're
that.
safe in this room.
I'm pretty safe right here.
Sir, you're pretty safe.
I feel good.
There's lots of weapons in this room. Yes, you're safe.
And so, we have a lot of football. And there's places to eat. Most of your listeners going to be with their families, and that's great. But big game, of course, is Saturday night. I got to go into that a little bit.
Is there a big game? Who's
It is a big
Washington
game.
State playing or
I don't think Washington State's the team.
game?
I saw Barry Hartman yesterday coming out, getting in here. Can we go to the same
He's all
bar?
fired up.
He's fired up, man. He's there. And I said, Barry, you going to the game? And Brent, he says, no, I'm going to watch it in Austin. If it's in Austin, I'd be there, but I'm not going to go to College Station. David's going. David's going, right?
Yeah. Oh,
David
yeah.
Hartman's there. So that's households are split over this thing.
Oh, no doubt.
And everybody's watching. I was in a store, HEB, and I must have seen the Longhorn jersey. I never seen that many at one time. There was a lot of Longhorn jerseys on. Always Aggies. It's an Aggie country.
I really believe this may be the most watched college football game that's not a championship game in history.
Championship to A&M, man. Barry said when they lost to Auburn, their marbles are all on Texas now. They have to win. It feels, and I think this way too. They need to beat Texas and then Georgia to be in there in the top 12.
Right.
They have to beat. Georgia is in.
One more loss and they're done.
Yeah, one more loss. Georgia is in. They'll play the winner of Texas A&M plays Georgia for the SEC championship. So he feels that they have to win. Texas can lose. We're not going to think that.
We'd still be in the top
We'd
12.
still be in the top 12.
Isn't the old trend when they used to play each other that whoever was ranked higher almost always lost because they kept constantly messing each other's chance of the national championship?
Yeah.
All right.
I look for Texas to win this game. I do. I don't think they just have too many wins. By the way, Dawn Nicole just said, hello, Brother Gary.
Tell her she's not forgotten today either.
There you go.
You understand what that means?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I got you. I think Texas wins the game. I made the comment when the Aggies left in 2012
Right.
for the SEC. I made the comment then. Of course, at that time, Texas had played for a championship in 2010 against
USC?
USC and
Yes.
against Alabama. And got beat.
Yeah.
And I made the comment, so you're 2 years away and you think you're rebuilding. Boy, what a mistake I made. We were not rebuilding. We were going down.
Had we won that game, you think we'd have been?
I think if we won that game, we'd have just kept on winning.
I think we'd have kept on going. That was rough.
Quick aside, Mac Brown
Yes.
relieved yesterday of his duty.
I didn't understand that.
Well,
one.
he's just 73, and I think they decided they wanted to
That
go a
was it.
different direction.
Caught me by surprise, though.
Me
I
too.
thought they were ride the wave till he wanted to go.
I thought they'd let him leave on his own terms because they were never a football school before him, and they probably won't be.
Winning 9 games every year is at
Yes,
least.
sir.
Texas -5.
I like Texas to win.
Texas will win and cover too.
My prediction for the score is 35-17.
What are you
Texas.
thinking, Adam?
He's asking you what you think about the game.
All I can think about is they've got to start recruiting high school kids again, or I'm going to start viewing college football no different than the pros.
I agree 100%.
Okay,
It's
so
just
you
a
got a
wide
point
open
there.
free agency is what it is.
Right.
I like Texas 35-17.
I like Texas back.
I made the comment when they left for the SEC. I said Texas will play for and win another national championship before the Aggies win the SEC outright.
I heard you say that.
I've said it for a dozen years now, and they've never let me down. And I'm at the point now where this game could be the tipping point of that.
Well, I
if
mean-
the Horns win, they may go win a national championship. If the Aggies win, they could win an SEC championship.
Barry said you're not going to hear yourself think.
No, it's going to be so loud.
and
That won't bother Texas.
I hope not. But
They play everybody. It's hate week every week.
now you know we have a lot of Texas A&M buddies. I have tons of them. Big Buddy is over there this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
We're big friends, and so wish them the best. But I think Texas is going to win. And
I just want them all to stay healthy.
Where's the game?
that's right.
It's in College Station.
College State,
And
110,000.
it'll be a big deal. But the thing is,
110,000.
it's almost like a sound machine, right? It's like fake noise. They've lost 2 of their last 3.
Yeah.
I look for the Horn. They did beat New Mexico State. But I look for Texas.
Easy, boy. Easy, son.
I think Texas beats them 35-17.
Texas A&M is playing in the Super Bowl this weekend.
Yeah.
That is their
Texas
Super
is
Bowl.
trying
That's
to
their
stay on
Super Bowl.
top. I'm taking Texas A&M.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's a fair, that's a very, very widespread way to look at it.
It's right. It is their big game.
They're coming. All they want to do is spoil this for you.
Hey,
That's all they want to do.
That's the way a lot of people look at it, and just hang the headphones up and you can just go. I'm kidding.
We love the boy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care. I just know
You don't have a dog.
the character of football players, and they know they're not playing in a national championship. And so now the best they can do is mess it up for you.
Let me tell you something. Both teams, they're playing for the Super Bowl right here.
Absolutely.
Texas
Big
too.
deal.
Texas, if the rankings came out, they're still number 3. If they played now, it's going to change every week depending on who wins and who
Yes,
loses.
sir.
Texas would play the winner of SMU and Notre Dame.
I love that.
I like that
Give me
too.
that draw.
Notre Dame is the home team against
Then
SMU.
after that, I think you get the winner of
Wait,
Indiana.
that's
and
in
Miami.
I like that, yes.
SMU's in.
That
That's a museum.
In the playoffs?
right
Oh, yeah.
now, yes. Yeah, Mustangs.
Think about that. Dawn says hook 'em. But think about
I love her.
if you get the SMU Notre Dame draw is about as good as you can get because Notre Dame's not very good and they haven't really played anybody. And then SMU is still SMU. They're not going to beat Texas. I'm sorry.
No, SMU's going to come back and get back to where they were supposed to be all those years ago. Now that what they were doing is finally legal.
Finally legal. And then the winner of that game plays Texas, and Texas plays the winner of Indiana and Miami.
In
I would
Indiana,
love
Miami,
that
that's where
too.
it would be right now. But Texas, if they lose, they would get a home playoff game.
Yeah,
They would be in the top 8 still because they would only be lost number 2.
that's right.
And they would be. This is a rivalry. We don't want to lose it.
I don't want to lose it.
don't wanna lose it.
If you just win, the trophies take care of themselves. Robert Brown says 12th man's going to come through. And
This is big. I mean, everybody's going to be watching.
Ducks.
They say it's going to be highly rated.
Oh, yeah. Super
Are
high.
people watching
Yes, sir.
Texas A&M Saturday night? I think 6 or 6:30. You want to be by
6:30.
at 6:30, sir?
Yes, sir.
And I know y'all will be watching.
Oh, yeah.
Be watching.
We're actually going to go over to College Station. We've got to find a place to watch the game over there. Judge Posey says, Happy Thanksgiving.
I love you, Judge. Happy Thanksgiving. See his son all the time at the Hellplex.
We've got to find a place to watch the game over there. We don't have tickets to the game, but we're going to a tailgate and just going to hang out with friends.
Tailgate's great.
Oh, yeah. And we'll find a place to watch it there. And I
How
don't
many
know where.
miles do you park away from
You're
the
going
stadium?
into College
I
Station this weekend?
think there's going to be 250,000 people there.
And
Even though
I-
only 100,000 will be in the
I
stadium.
would not be surprised, Brent, if there
gonna
was
be
that many
huge.
people. It's huge.
It's going to be
And I
huge.
know people. See, David's got a place up there.
Yeah.
That's why he built it. And to
I
have
have
a
to
place-
call David. That's like go by the house and watch it on TV.
Can you watch it at his house till he gets back?
Right. So we'll clean. We'll clean the whole time.
I love those boys, man. They're doing it right, aren't they?
That's awesome.
You got Dawn with you.
We'll
He
clean.
knows.
Dawn will help me clean. We'll clean it
Yeah,
up. We'll
yeah.
watch it on the tube.
I love it. Well, I'm going to let y'all finish out, boys. I got something for you. I'll hand it to you before I leave.
Okay.
You guys are great. Happy Thanksgiving, all 3 of you.
Brother man, we love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
You got plans? You're going to hook up
We
with
got
Mike?
my
and-
niece is here, Mike's daughter, and we're going to be together.
Awesome.
for that. And then I've got some runs in the morning, Salvation Army. I'm going to Froggies. We're giving out plates.
Eat a little bit everywhere you go.
No eating
If
till I
you
get
don't eat, people are offended.
Well, those are giveaways. It's for the not problems. But when I get to the house, she's cooking. She'll have the food ready. His daughter.
The brother man could go. The brother man could go out to a car and hand somebody a plate of food. I'm just going to take that little piece of dog meat, and they'd be like,
It's now blessed.
We're going to be out and about. We'll do that, and then we'll sit down and eat later on. In the
Fantastic.
afternoon. But it's all good stuff, and y'all have a great one. Tell
Look,
you,
I brought in some memorabilia. We'll look up another type of old stuff, old UT stuff.
I love that, man. That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
I'm going to get Cody to get up and wiggle the Longhorn over there.
Right.
If you look over here,
Let's see.
there's a Longhorn, and look, he's got the Aggie by the neck. Look at that! Isn't that cute?
You see that?
Isn't that? So those are my Tinker toys there in the back, and
My grandfather grew up in Bryan and was a big Coach Bryant fan.
Oh, yeah. I liked Alabama, too,
can't.
Coach Bryant.
no, I understand. No, I respect that.
Tell your mother, I said happy Thanksgiving. Adam, your mother too. I love them both. They think the world of me, and I think the world of them. Both of
Absolutely.
them.
Well, brother, man, we love you. Have a great Thanksgiving. We'll give you a hug out here in a minute.
All right.
So
We're almost done?
Awesome. Yeah, we're almost done. All
right. Thank you.
5 minutes till the top of the hour. In fact, if you'll let me, folks, we'll take one more quick break, just kind of make sure everybody gets the love. I made some phone calls yesterday and told some of our sponsors how much they mean to us. We're so fortunate. And there's Torrin Bales, who was a great sponsor for a long time. He was such a good sponsor, we put him out of business.
Well, I hope nobody looks over the fact that you never advertise for yourself. So
No,
don't forget GF Insurers. They're up there. Give Brent a call.
Yeah.
He'll send you to someone else. Give her a call. She's awesome.
Yeah, that's right. The team is awesome.
Yes. You don't even have to talk to Brent.
Absolutely. By the way, that Astros and Angel, the Astros, Kikuchi goes to the Angels. That's okay. But the sports update brought to you by First State Bank of Louise. Brother Gary comes in on the First State Bank of Louise scholarship, and we're glad to have him every time we get a chance. We love to have the brother man with us. And First State Bank of Louise, big enough to get it done, small enough to know your name. Go by and see them today. Free checking, free savings. Great folks. I visited with BJ Nelson yesterday, White Trash Services, 550-1826. Let them help you with all your trash needs. They can help you have a trash-tastic day. They can also haul off that old barn and level the land, and they'll do pad sites, whatever you need done. Give them a call. And then Chestic Furniture, for over 100 years, Chestic and Love make your house a home. Get by and see why you just always do better at Chestic. Bobby Leon and his family. You got one more thing? The brother man's coming back.
I want to mention at West High School in the playoffs, playing Burning on Friday. I forgot this and I had it on my notes. West High School, third round of the playoffs, playing Burning. We played them during the season. It's one of our 2 losses. Spend off at West.
Early in the season.
Earlier in the season, right.
West has a chance.
West has a chance. They're having the send-off at 1:30 in the afternoon Friday at West High School back parking lot. Send-off for West High School, 1:30 afternoon on Friday.
Fantastic. Try to get out there.
They're playing in Seguin, sir. They're playing in Seguin.
Oh, in Seguin.
In Seguin.
Okay, good.
The undefeated Edna Cowboys playing Friday night against Randolph.
That's the Randolph. That's the base. That's the base school in.
Right.
Wow.
Caleb's kids.
It's the third round of playoffs. Third round.
Awesome. Brother, thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
Bingo, we're friends meet friends. December 12th is a Thursday night. Plan to be there on the 12th. We will be there. Power Vita Wellness. You don't have to gain 50 pounds over the holidays. Get into Power Vita for life. Let Erica Briggs help you. She can lay out meals. There's no preservatives, no gluten. There's this, that, the other thing. If you're on a bariatric diet, she can take care of all that stuff for you. Get with Erica and let her help you get healthy and stay healthy. And then here, the office is at 205. If you need us, come on down. We've got space to show you. John Paul Hull has offices available. It's a beautiful building. It's right above Greeks 205. You'll love it. Come on down and see us. Daniel Rollins adds Goliath's playing Llano in a third round playoff game. So go Tigers. Good job. Goliath's been pretty scrappy the last couple of years.
They have. Edna's about to win it all.
You think they
It's
are?
a special group.
They are.
They're
That
unbelievable. Good quarterback, over 6 foot. They got a receiver that like Travis Hunter in high school. The kid can do anything.
They're really good, huh?
Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
I don't think you'll see a team like this again.
Just real quick, first of all, I'm always thankful for folks like Adam that'll come in at the drop of a hat and have fun, people that want to make it fun. I hope we shared some of the news of the day with you. Just travel safe over the holidays. A record 71.7 million people expected to travel by car this weekend, with 80 million total people, 3 or 4 million people flying. On Sunday alone, 3 million expected to fly. Just be very, very safe. Do not become a holiday statistic. I think of my friend H.R. Mallory and how the troopers have to go out on their holidays and investigate car accidents. Please give them nothing to do. Just be safe. And if you need them, call Allen's Wrecker Service. But just be careful on the roads. Another one quick thought. The Ozempics, the what's it called, Wegovy, the blockers, if you will, Medicare and Medicaid considering covering the obesity drugs, because some of them cost up to $1,000 a month for the uninsured. Now the fact is they don't cost $1,000 a month. It's just that the demand is there and they're kind of putting it to the man. So, Medicare enrollees can see their out-of-pockets drop by as much as 95%.
Being overweight causes a bunch of other health
So why
problems.
not
So it
have
might
people
be
use it?
worth it to the taxpayer to go ahead and cover this to prevent other things that are going to make these people sick.
As we head into the day of gluttony
Enjoy
tomorrow,
Thanksgiving.
enjoy your Thanksgiving. Folks, so Adam, push the bottom right button over there.
Well, I've been kicked out of my near